Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Mario from Barberview TV. I got a special guest in the house today. But before we do that, let's get to some of the house business. We're now live on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV. We have the Apple iOS and Android app dropping, so you guys could check out the barber culture anywhere in the world. Also, follow us on all social media platforms, IG, YouTube. You guys know the drill. And also, check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Media, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Yo, this man right here he needs no introduction to me, but we're going to learn about a lot about him today as we continue on the show. Um, just came from the CT Expo a couple months ago, fresh off the Rookie of the Year award from the world's largest barber expo. Um, just this guy is doing amazing things. I met him about last year, all about family, all about the business, and all about the accountability and hustling. And whatever you put into something will flourish if you wanted to, but it's up to you to do that. So, just want to introduce you guys real quick to Mr. Razor Hands 360. Mr. Richie Razors. Sorry, I got a tongue twist here. What's up, bro?
Yeah,
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm at the shop right now. I got my partner Chris is here, and we got a bunch of students from Premier Barber Institute getting some extra hours at the shop right now.
Oh, that's
So I'm
dope, man.
enjoying some company.
For sure, man. So, really quick, man, because I know you're tight on time. I ask all of my guests what got them into barbering or what inspired them to become a barber. So, I ask you the same question: What got you into barbering?
So when you grow up in the hood, like the barber culture is always prevalent in the hood, right? Like you go to the barber shop every week, and growing up, you see all the OGs at the barber shop chilling, and so it's always been an intriguing thing, right? Um, I didn't last long on the streets before I got locked up. I got locked up when I was 13 years old, and I spent 26 years in prison, man.
Wow.
And from having a criminal background, after all them years, I was released in 2017, and it was hard to get a job, man. Like I had to accept like the shittiest jobs that you could think of, you know.
Give us
So
an example of some of those jobs, man, because at that point, as a man trying to get back on the horse, trying to get back into society, sometimes we just have to be just like, I got to get some bread, no matter how it was. What was some of those jobs, if you don't mind sharing with us?
so when I first came home, um, my first job that I applied to and got, actually my parole officer got me a job with someone who was a parolee that owned his own cleaning company.
Yeah.
So she actually called the guy. He was on her docket, like she was supervising him.
Mhm.
So anybody that came home and needed a job and was having a hard time finding a job, she would call him and be like, "Hey, I got somebody," and he would take them on. So that was the very first one. It was informal, no application, no nothing. It
Just
was
listen
just,
to
"Hey,
work.
this guy needs a job so
Mhm.
that he's in compliance with his parole stipulations." And he took me on, and I went to work with him for about 2 months, just cleaning office buildings and stuff, like the bathrooms, the common areas and stuff like that. Um, and then after that, and that was just while I was looking for like a formal job, right? So my first formal job was at UPS, and it was overnight. But the problem with that is, because I'm out all night, I had to contact my parole officer. My parole officer had to contact UPS. So now they know I'm a convicted felon.
Yeah, yeah.
And what does that do? That automatically makes them treat you like garbage because they know
Yep.
you need the job,
Yep.
right? I was busting my butt, loading up the freight trucks, the big trucks with packages and stuff like that. Um, Man, and my first paycheck after a week, bro, was like $130, and I was like, "Oh my,
Man. Yeah.
excuse me."
And and not even 20, 2022 where we are right now, but even in 2017, that's not a lot of that's nothing. You know
It
what I'm
was
saying?
nothing.
So
So, but here's the problem, and I think that a lot of people fail because, so take me for example. I did 26 years in prison, right?
yep.
I'm coming home with nothing, absolutely nothing, no clothes, no car, nothing, nothing at all. So if I have to pay bills at my household and I'm only making $130 a week, what? How far does that stretch?
Man.
It doesn't stretch far at all. So now you have to make a decision whether you want to buy food, you want to pay a bill, or you want to buy clothes or shoes or something. Excuse me, I'm coughing a lot because I just finished. I quit smoking, and it's all coming up.
Ah,
Um, so you in a tough place when you come out of prison in a situation like that, and you gotta make choices. So I didn't last long there, man. I lasted 3 months there, and I was like, I gotta find something better because I'm gonna fail. There's no way that I'm not gonna fail when I have to make choices between paying a bill or feeding myself. Smoking is horrible, man. It comes up bad.
I'm with you.
Uh, so then after that, I got a job with another cleaning company for a woman, and I was the only man in a team of like 16 women. So you know what that means, right? I got to do all the dirty stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to take out the trash. I had to clean the bathrooms, clean the toilets, all of that stuff because the girls didn't want to do it, so I had to do it.
That's
And I
crazy.
lasted there about a year. They treated me decent. Um, But you know, I'm always someone that looks to do a little bit better than what I'm doing. You know.
Yeah.
So after that, I actually had my first son in October, and I took a leave of absence because I wanted to be there like through the whole thing with my first son and all of that. So I took like 3 weeks off, like towards the end of my wife's pregnancy, and the lady, her name was Celeste. She actually knew. She was like, "I know you're not coming back," and because I was off that long, um, one of the girls that I used to work with, her husband worked at a moving company, like moving people's residences, like from house to house. And she was like, "Hey, my husband said they need a guy," and then I went to that moving company and I started working for them, and I lasted there about a year. That's what got me into barbering, being at that job. Because after a year, I asked the man for a raise. I was making $17 an hour, which is decent. And I asked him for a $3 raise. And he told me that I wasn't worth more than $17 to him.
Wow.
So I quit. After a year, I quit. It was on a Friday. And I enrolled in barber school that Monday.
Man, but you took everything into your own hands and was like, "Yo, no one's gonna put a value on me, right?" So I totally get that, man. And from there, I understand you went to premiere, right, with Tariq, to my understanding, right?
Yep. I went to Premier Barber Institute with Tyreek. But at the time, give me a second. At the time, um, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Tyreek owned a school at the time. Um, cause the person that does all the paperwork is Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
So I went to Premiere, but I didn't know that Tyreek owned the school as well.
So we understand you didn't know that because you was in doing all your processing and you saw your first initial response was with Dan, but like when you started going to the school, you realized, wait a minute, I just don't have like a normal instructor. This is not a normal school. Did that make you raise your game? Did that allow you to
So
understand that this was a special type of situation compared to others?
it's it goes deeper than that. And One day you'll talk to Tariq and you'll hear the story. So I initially enrolled into that school just because, my wife found the school and it was like the closest one to where we live. It was like 25 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, I talked to Dan through the whole process, and I, did the application and the federal grants and all that stuff. So I finally, I was supposed to start school. This was in January. I was supposed to start school in March. I get a phone call like 3 days after I did all the paperwork and stuff. I get a phone call from Dan, and he says, "Hey, somebody just decided not to go through with enrolling in school. Would you mind starting today?"
wow,
And I was like, "Absolutely." The phone call was like at 7 o'clock in the morning. He was like, "If you can make it here by 8 o'clock, you'll start today."
wow.
I jumped up, got dressed, grabbed a book bag, a pen, a pad, and I was gone. So I enrolled in school that day. Um, can you hear that, or should I
No,
move?
I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead. You good?
Okay. So I get to the school, and this is gonna blow your mind because I get to the school, and the first day is like they do they do like charity haircuts at the homeless shelter and stuff.
At a chosen 300, right? I believe. Yeah,
Chosen 300, right?
yeah.
So my first day, I was sent there. Like that was my initial,
Assignment. Yeah, yeah,
that was my welcome. Like go cut hair at the homeless shelter. Um, but I'm standing around at this point because this is my first day. I'm just standing around.
yeah,
After about an hour, one of the instructors, Idamar, who you had on the show as well,
yeah.
um, he says, "Hey, Tyreek wants you back at the school." So
Huh.
I'm like, "Tyreek?" He's like, "Yeah, the owner. He wants you back at the school." So in my mind, the first thing that crossed my mind was they found out about my criminal history. They're gonna tell me I can't come to the school,
Yeah,
right? Like automatically, I'm like, this is not gonna happen. They're not gonna let me be in this school having the record that I have. And I've only gotten in trouble one time in my life, but that's always been the thing. Like you have a criminal past, even if it's one, you have a criminal past, and it's held against you.
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go back to the school. I'm expecting to be kicked out or whatever. I walk into the school, and I'm like, are you Dan? And he's like, no, Dan is in the back. I'm Tyreek. I'm like, all right, I'm supposed to see you. So he's like, come into the office, and I come into the office, and he's like, um, your name is Richie, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, your mom's name is Cookie, and I'm like, in my mind, how does this person know this, right?
Yeah,
Because that's not on the application, is none of that.
yeah, yeah.
He's like, you used to live on Locust Street in Lancaster back in the day. In my mind, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, no idea, right?
Hmm.
Turns out that Tariq was my friend when I was 12 years old before I got locked up.
Wow.
But we didn't call Tariq. We called him Joel.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see him for 27 years.
Man.
I didn't even know that he owned the school. And the last time I saw him was in 1991.
Wow.
So it turns out I enrolled in a school of someone who used to be my friend when I was 12,
Wow.
before I got locked up.
That's crazy, bro.
So all of the hype, all of the and rightfully so, right? Tyreek is Tyreek Jackson, but to me, Tyreek Jackson is Joel. So that hype, when everyone feels like, oh my God, this is Tyreek. And I know Tyreek is great. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I looked at him differently. Like it wasn't like there wasn't pressure because he's known my family. He's been around my family forever. So I didn't have that pressure to perform around Tyreek because he never made me feel that.
That's crazy, bro. That you want to talk about 360 back around? That is the
So it's crazy because me and Tyreek last saw each other. He used to have a skateboarding group
yeah,
with his Christian ministry called Skaters for Christ. So when I was 12, I used to like skateboarding, and they were like a nice little group. They used to skateboard.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know initially that they were a ministry. Like they did Bible study and stuff like that. So when I started hanging out with them, I was like, oh, okay, so if that's what y'all do, that's what I'll do. So one time we went to the skate shop. This was like as soon as I started hanging out with them. I went to the skate shop with them, and they were all talking about like the different skateboards that were on the rack, and them liking it. Now mind you, we're 12, 13, 14 years old, and these skateboards, they like two, three, $400. Like they're not cheap.
And cheap. Nah.
And I grew up in the hood, and I stole one, right? And I brought it back, and I pulled it out, and it was like, how'd you get that? And I was like, y'all said y'all wanted it, so I got it for y'all. Like that was my hood mentality, right? As a
Yeah, for
kid.
sure. Yeah.
And Tariq was like, no, 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 we don't do that, bro. We don't do that at all. Like, you gotta take that back. And I was like, I ain't taking it back. You can take it back. I ain't taking it back. I'm the one that stole it. If I take it back, I'm getting locked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Tariq was like, give it to me. I'm gonna take it back and I'm gonna return it. And that's what he did. But then what the conversation that happened after that was, hey, listen, if you're gonna be living like that, like if that's the type of stuff you're gonna be doing, you can't hang out with us because we don't do that. We are ministry, like we're Christian.
Yeah.
And we kind of separated and went our different ways. And I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. And that's what ultimately got me locked up.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So man, so like you said, Lancaster got in trouble, got locked up, came back, did some crazy jobs, went to school, graduated school, opened up a shop, and then you was grinding, 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 and then I haven't heard from you for a minute besides the stuff, me checking on you on IG. But when I was staging to go to CT Expo, and I saw finalist rookie of the year, and I saw your face. I was like, this dude must have like been on a crazy grind. So all that to get to this point, right? Tell us about was that even something you were gunning for, or were you just
Um,
your head down, just doing your thing and getting down and
let-
dirty?
it never crossed my mind one time. So I obviously I went to barber school. It took 10 months to graduate, right?
Hmm.
Before I graduated, I had already leased the space and had it ready to go. I outfitted it, everything ready to go for when I graduated. Um, I graduated in November. I took my state board in January, and I opened the shop in February because it was already ready to go. So while I was in school, because I was in school full time from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had quit my job, I started driving Uber and Lyft after school to pay the bills and save money.
Yeah, yo, shouts out to Uber and Lyft. You know what I'm saying?
They help out. Shouts out to Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
So I was able to pay bills and do all that shit. And I had the shop ready to go in January when I got my state board. So from January of 2021, January of 2021, I got my state board license. I got my barber license. February of 2021, I opened the shop. So from February of 2021, was it 2021? Yeah, 2021. From February of 2021, I grinded nonstop. I opened my second shop December of 2021.
Wow.
And now, yeah, I'll eat some, bro. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Now, you know what? I'll grab some. Don't order anything. I'm sorry.
No, you
Um,
good.
so February of 2021, I opened my first shop. I busted my ass like nonstop, bro, for 9.5 months. In December of 2021, I opened my second shop, 1,100 square feet, 7 chairs, um, and I got nominated for the Barber Grammy. I believe it was what, February or March of 2022. and the person that nominated me was Tyreek Jackson.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. So you go through this entire journey, and you're at CT. I saw you dressed up, homie. You was you was looking sharp, dog. I see
Hey,
you.
listen, I never wore a suit before except the court, right? So I felt good that I was wearing a suit, and it wasn't for me being in trouble. I was feeling myself, dog.
Yeah, so I saw you, your wife, and I saw just the look on your face, like absorbing stuff. Tell us what's going on through your mind when you just look out and you see all these people just showing you mad love and dapping you up and just giving you all these well wishes. What's going on through your mind at that moment?
It felt good, right? Because nobody knew my story. I didn't. Nobody. Well, I can't say nobody. Some people did, but for the majority, people really didn't know the details of the story, right? So I knew that the love and the congratulations was genuine, but there was also hate that was genuine too.
Hmm.
Because and I didn't speak about it. I didn't talk about it because I didn't want to give any light to it and ruin the the,
Moment.
the
Yeah.
the beautiful experience of it. So I didn't want to taint that with the negativity, but there was some negativity that was genuine as well. But I've never been in a situation like that where there was praise or um and I don't want to say admiration because that's too strong of a word, but like I've never been in that situation. I was incarcerated for 26 years of my life being told I was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I got out in 2017 and I won an international barber Grammy in 2021
Man.
or
Good for you.
2022.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so in 4 years, I went from people saying you're the scum of the earth to people saying good job and tapping me on the shoulder. Like, so it's a stark difference. Like, it's like, damn, it's amazing.
So why do you think that is so? I know we could all talk about if this was supposed to be, but when I hear your story, I think about there came a point to where the rubber met the road and you was like, I gotta invest in me. And now you got a family, you got two beautiful boys. I saw even the wife is doing SMP now, man. The whole family, the family is in grind mode and they're taking your leadership as like the head, right? And they're saying this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna support you. How does it feel to have all that love and all that support, not only from the external, but the internal as well? That has to be just amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good feeling, right? Because when most people that have a troubled past, whether it be going to prison or hitting hard times or whatever, like it's easy for you to feel down on yourself and be like, I'm never gonna amount to nothing. Everybody expects me to lose. It's easy to fall into that trap. So when you're able to persevere through that and use adversity to build your character the way it's supposed to, it's good to see that people stand behind you and say, take the lead, and I'm going to follow that.
Yeah,
It's definitely an amazing feeling, man. Definitely an amazing feeling.
it's awesome. So I see your wife is doing things in the SMP sector. Like what got her into the game, man? That's pretty interesting. Like I've never saw like the duo that you guys have now.
Yeah, so it's she's never had a rough life, but she's had to work, like everybody else all her life,
Mhm.
and she's using the inspiration, seeing me become the businessman that I've become, and she's like, why not? Why not make it a family thing? If you're gonna invest, because I'm away from the shop like more than I'm home, right? I have two shops I have to attend to, so I'm away from home a lot. And she's like, if that's what it's going to take, then I might as well be there with you and make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy,
But yeah,
bro.
I'm proud of her. She's and she knows it's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of grind, but she's invested. I mean, she got trained by the best too. She got trained by Taylor Perry. So
Yeah, shout out to Taylor Perry for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, bro. So what's her insight on all these things that help happening? It just seems so quick, but it seemed destined to happen. Just you being so hungry. What's her take on what's going on with
So
your life and everything?
if we go back to the story, when I quit that job that said that I wasn't worth more,
Then $17. Yeah, yeah.
that I wasn't worth more than $17 an hour, I came back and I told her, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go back to this job. It was her that said, and but I was like, I want to quit, but I don't know what else to do. Like my options are so limited because of having a criminal history, and my options are limited. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I still have to be the man of the house and provide for the family, and um, pay the bills and do all of that stuff. And it was my wife that said, quit that job and go to barber school, since because here's the thing. So in prison I couldn't be in the barbershop because when you have a violent crime, they don't let you be in the barbershop.
Mm,
So
got it.
over the years I got used to cutting my own hair.
Yeah,
In prison you cut your own hair for visits or whatever, right?
yeah.
So when I came home, I still wasn't going to barbershops. I was still cutting my own hair.
Mm,
And she used to watch me in the bathroom, like cutting my own hair and doing a good job. So when I quit that job, she said, well, you always cutting your own hair. Why don't you go to the barber school, and make that your job and cut hair for a living, since you do it anyway?
wow.
So I was like, well, what am I gonna do in barber school if I can't work and I don't got a job? What am I gonna do? My wife said, for 10 months, I'll take care of all the bills. Don't worry about it. You just go to barber school.
That's
And
crazy.
that's what happened. So she knew what the investment was and what the reward was going to be. So that made me work twice as hard, because I'm like, if she paid the bills for 10 months so I can accomplish this, it's only right that I go as hard as I can to kind of reward that sacrifice.
Yeah,
Like the story gets so deep, it's hard to cover all the bases
yeah,
without having like hours and hours of conversation,
yeah.
because there's so many different little caveats that played in the success of what people see now. It's not just one thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
There's so many different facets that played into it to make it happen.
Yeah, that's very that. I'm telling you, man. One day I look forward to seeing your tell all your story. And segueing back into Tyreek, I'm doing a documentary on him. When I met you, it was at the shop. Shouts out to Tyreek. His documentary is dropping next Wednesday, so I look forward to. And you're going to be in there as well, so it's going to be awesome. Um, in regards to Field Day, August 2021. Um, you and Edomar, bro, y'all was on the court going hard, dog. Oh, and
So
on the baseball field, and
Edamar is my guy, man. I love that dude, man.
and you
He
was
is
like,
a
yo,
genuinely good dude.
yeah, and you was like, yo, I ain't even posting no more cuts. I'm just talking about this victory.
Yeah, no, me and Edamar, listen, if you catch us outside of any sporting event, we're the best of friends. If you see us on any kind of field or court, you would think we hate each other. Don't we just both like super competitive and don't want to lose to each other. So that's what you see when you see us playing, and we're never going to be on the same team ever for anything.
That's
That's just
awesome.
something that we have between us. But that's my guy. We actually have a podcast that we do together.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard about it or I saw it. And shouts out to Edomar. He's teaming up with Real Barbershop in Burtonsville, Maryland. This coming up the 10th. We're going to be in the first annual Barber Expo, so that's going to be dope. Barberview TV is going to be out there supporting and actually live streaming that event as well.
Oh,
So
you gonna be there?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah,
Yeah, we all going. We all gonna be there.
yeah, I'm gonna be there. Getting in Friday. I'll be there Saturday, Sunday, and I'm flying out Monday back to
Okay.
Vegas. Hot Vegas, 106 degrees Vegas. But man, you have so much stuff going on. So many ventures, so many things, man. Tell us what's next. I know you got your second shop. You're fresh off the Barber Grammy. That comes with a lot of like a boost, right? It's kind of like when people do verses, people are like, damn, I didn't know that person made that song, and they go and they download all these songs and start following you and checking for you. What has been the impact after the Grammys, and what's in the future for you right now?
So the people that the majority of the people that voted for me were clients and friends and people that know personally what the grind was. Um, so personally, it didn't change much, right? Because the people that voted for me just voted because I'm their favorite barber, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it wasn't like a thing for accolades, and the clients and customers, they don't really care about the barber Grammys. Actually, I have more people now coming in and saying, "You're not gonna stop being my barber, right?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not. That's not
Hollywood,
changing. I'm not
Hollywood.
going nowhere. I'm not I'm not going to Hollywood or nothing."
Yeah,
So it doesn't change anything in the personal aspect because I'm still the same dude. I still wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I still get to the shop. I still cut hair all day long. So it doesn't change anything in that aspect. What I'm hoping it will do is I'm hoping that someone somewhere will have the ability to impact children and bring me along for the ride, right? Because um, I was one of those kids that was at risk and I fell through the cracks, and I wanna try to avoid at least a handful of kids that would otherwise fall through the cracks, not do so. You
yeah,
know, um, so that's really the only goal. Other than that, it's a good thing to have, and people feel good saying my barber won a barber Grammy. That feels good, right? But that doesn't make me better than anybody. It doesn't change how I act or how I carry myself. I'm still the hardest working person I know,
yeah.
um, and that's not going to change either. But in the future, me and my partner, we trying to open up a shop every December because we opened this shop in December. So
Yeah, yeah.
we try to open up a shop every December. And I was released. So I opened this shop too. I opened this shop on the day that I was released from prison in 2017.
Wow.
So every December 17th, I want to do something monumental to kind of like pay homage to my second chance. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we already starting to look at locations to open up shop number 3 in December and keep it going, man.
That's dope, man. I mean, as you can see, I'm smiling ear to ear, bro. This story is so inspirational on so many different levels. Yo, you should come out to Vegas whenever you can, bro. It's crazy in Vegas,
If
bro.
I go to Vegas, I ain't coming back. That's the problem.
My man say he's not coming back. That's crazy, man.
If
But
I go to Vegas, I ain't coming back. I'm gonna try to open shops over there, so I'm gonna stay away.
yo, the West Coast is ready for you, bro. But yeah, bro. So like, I look forward to coming out to your shops, man. Like I said, I'm doing all this filming all over the world, but I definitely got to stop at your shop. You are someone that needs to be need to be captured historically for where you were at, where you're at now, and what you're gunning for. And I think it's important for everyone to see that full life cycle of how things can look crazy in the onset, but if you keep pushing and invest in yourself, anything can happen, man.
That
Anything.
was actually part of my speech when I accepted the Barber Grammy.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to know because so many people have the misconception that once you mess up, it's over. Everything is downhill from there. It only goes downhill as far as you let it. Because once you once you pump the brakes and say, I'm not going to continue going down this hill, you can go back to the top. It's going to take a little bit of work because it's easier going down than it is going up.
For sure.
But you can do it. You just have to be determined to and be willing to go uphill and go against the grain.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do that, you can make some good stuff happen, man.
Yeah, bro. I mean, and you are a testimony in the flesh of that. So, outside of that, bro, tell the people out there where they can hit you up at. Let's talk about your shops and we'll wrap it up, bro. The floor is
Yeah,
yours.
man. So on Instagram, I'm at Razor Hands. It's Razor underscore hands 360. That's my Instagram, my personal one. I have also Instagram for my first barbershop, which is Richie Razorz Barbershop. My second barbershop is Richie Razorz Barbershop 2. So they all have different Instagrams. Um, I'm in Warminster, Pennsylvania with my second shop. Excuse me. My first shop is in Ambler, Pennsylvania. And all you got to do is Google Richie Razorz Barbershop, and they both going to come up, man.
Love it, bro. That's good story. Hey, brother, I can't wait to see you again, man, and chop it up. You said you're gonna be down in Maryland or no? I'm sorry.
Yeah, me and my partner going to go down. We're going to be down there. We got to support Eat 'em More and Fresh.
Oh,
They are guys. So
yeah, yeah,
we're going down there. Definitely got to go represent.
yeah. And shouts out to Luis, the owner, bro.
I haven't met him. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Oh yeah, he's pretty awesome, man.
We
Dominican,
just started following each other on Instagram, actually.
isn't that the craziest thing? How many times have you had a conversation like, "Hey, bro, what's up? How you doing? I like your work. Let me follow you on Instagram." That's like, damn, I'm already following you. It's funny how many times that actually happens where you got to go to the top or the front of people's minds when they
Yeah.
when they physically see you, right? It's weird, but that happens more often than ever right now, for sure.
Yeah. Especially now after I won that Grammy, the followers skyrocketed. And now it's like I'll check somebody out and I'll go follow them, and it's like, oh, they're already following me. Like, and sometimes it's like, damn, I hope this person didn't feel like I didn't follow them back on purpose. Like, there were so many in that short weekend that I couldn't physically get back to all of them. You know?
Yo, your phone had to be going crazy, bro.
I mean, I'm in the company of two great barbers, Vic Blends and Allison Cuts. They won the Rookie of the Year the previous two, and there's only been three, so I'm the third one. So when you win an award like that, it's like you're in great company. Like, so things are bound to happen. Not that I'm comparing myself to them in any way, but they're great barbers and they're great people. So that automatically happens. Like, the phone goes crazy, the followers goes crazy, you know?
Yeah, bro, and it comes with it comes with the fact that your whole story is based on this, and Tyreek nominated you because he knew where you came from. So to me, that's awesome, bro. That's just a
Me
very
and Tyreek actually just did a feature in a magazine that's about to come out in the next few days.
oh, that's dope. Which one?
I have to go in into my email to remember the name. It's so much that I try to remember and I can't.
Dude, because things going a million miles an hour right now for you, bro. It's crazy, man. But
Yeah, man.
I don't want to
And
take
I'm trying to go 200 miles an hour. That's the thing. I'm never satisfied because I'm a firm believer in you take advantage of the opportunities you have now. If you slow down and become content, you'll never know what your full potential is.
absolutely
I
100%.
wasted too much time to go slow. I only got one speed, and that's go.
I love it, yo.
That's it.
That's awesome. Well, look, bro, much love and respect, man. I look forward to seeing you this weekend at the show.
Yeah, I'll see you this weekend, man.
Yeah, Razor Hands 360, Barberview TV. Yo, we out. See y'all later. Peace out.
Appreciate you, brother.